my beautiful friends. Welcome to this healing yin yoga practice, a favorite among our members. It's for processing cortisol, calming the nervous system with vagus nerve stimulation, and inviting in deep emotional release. We'll blend the stillness of yin yoga with gentle awareness of somatic movement and powerful vagus nerve regulation techniques to support your body and your soul in returning to a place of safety and serenity. By the way, I'm Rebecca. I am so happy to meet you here on the mat. Let's begin. Have a seat either on the earth or on a prop. Bring one hand to your third eye and take a moment to connect. Chronic stress and high cortisol levels often disconnect us from our inner knowledge. Now move your hand to your heart chakra, located at the center of the chest, where we often contract, guarding the heart, disconnecting from vulnerability. You are whole here, untouched, and always capable of love and healing. Move your hands onto your thighs, palms up if you prefer to be a little more open, or down if you prefer to be more grounded. This is your invitation to slow down, reconnect, and let go. Now, with that heart and third eye energy, set your intention. Maybe it's a heart-centered affirmation. I soften into the love that embraces me. I allow my heart to guide my healing. Even in my heaviness, I am light. Let's move into Nadi Shodhana, alternate nostril breathing, which reduces cortisol levels by calming the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, HPA. Sit up tall and shut down the eyes. Use your right hand, your thumb, and your ring finger, or you could use your pinky. Now close the right nostril with your thumb. Inhale with your left nostril slowly. Close the left nostril and release the right. Now exhale, right nostril fully. Inhale through the right nostril. Close the right nostril down and release the left. Exhale left. Let's repeat that. Inhale left nostril, close left, exhale right. Inhale right, close right, exhale left. Inhale left, close the left nostril, exhale through your right. Inhale right, close right, and exhale left. Now release your hand and return to a normal breath. Let's gently move forward onto our hands and knees. Grab onto a block, tuck your toes under, and then sit back over your feet, preparing for toes pose. So we're going to break this down. You're more than welcome to stay right here, or you can go ahead and grab a block, and you can take the block or a pillow underneath your knees. Experiment with taking your knees even higher if you'd like less sensation. In traditional Chinese medicine, the kidney meridian is linked to fear, stress, and adrenal health. Toes pose directly stimulates this meridian by stretching the soles of the feet and the fascia connected to the lower legs, helping to regulate energy and reduce that chronic tension we hold in the body, which will shift the body from the fight or flight into the rest and digest. And this will lower cortisol and promote a parasympathetic state. For the second part of this pose, grab onto 2 blocks if you'd like to join me. Flip your palms so your fingertips face your hips, and then reach the heel of your hand towards the block. Now, you're welcome to modify this. If your fingertips don't face towards your hips, you can turn them out to the sides or whatever angle feels best for you today. Just honor that. You are also welcome to take the blocks up a little bit higher or use pillows here. Let's take the tongue to the roof of your mouth, to the soft palate. Gently add some awareness here. And notice any sensations or shifts of energy when you do this. This helps to stimulate the vagus nerve. Very subtly, you'll feel a shift in energy. Feeling the heel of your hand grounding through the palms. Pressing the hands into the earth. Feel that feedback loop of support and safety. This grounding action cues your body to shift into the parasympathetic state. Now, keep your tongue on the soft palate and take it gently from side to side, like it's creating a little rainbow from the left to the right, back and forth. Do that about 3 or 4 more times, and then release and just marinate in the pose a little bit longer. I invite you to shift your weight forward, release your hands, and come back up into toes pose. If you prefer to keep your hands on the blocks or in the earth, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, join me, just rinse them out a couple of times, shaking them around in one direction and the other. Maybe reposition yourself back into the pose. Just pause here just for a moment longer. Slowly bring your hands to the earth in front of you, and then begin to lift your hips off your heels and uncurl those toes. Maybe give them a little soft tap or massage. Come on and have a seat and join me crossing your right ankle over the opposite knee, stacking the shins one on top of the other. Twisting towards the left side, towards the right foot. I'm using a block, and you're welcome to take your hands into the earth. You can take your block up higher or lower, whichever you prefer. And you can use that inner arch of your foot as a little fulcrum. You're also welcome to keep your arms extended and subtly twisting over towards that foot. Play with sitting up on pillows or blocks or a bolster. And you're also welcome to invite a block underneath that right knee. Play with it once you get into the pose. Let's do some gentle somatic movements. Now, as we inhale, we're going to guide that right hip towards the left. And then exhale, maybe let out a sigh and feel your hips and your pelvis get heavy into the earth. Let's do that 2 more times. On the inhale, gently guide that hip ever so slightly to the left. And exhale, soften. And do that 1 more time. This time, notice sensations right inside the groin, the pelvis. Inhale, take the knee to your left. Just a micro movement. And exhale, soften. And take a deep breath. Inhale. At the top of your inhale, take another sip in. Do that 2 more times. This pose is also known as fire log pose or double pigeon, and it's rich with benefits. It regulates the nervous system. The deep hip opening presses into areas where lots of emotional tension and trauma often hide. If anything begins to surface, maybe a teardrop or a gurgle, just let it pass like a cloud on a sunny day. And if it becomes too intense, go ahead and modify this. Maybe come into a child's pose or lie on your back and rebound. Let's introduce some movement again, coming up and releasing our legs, moving into a squat pose or malasana, facing the long edge of your mat. Turn to your left and gently come on up into your variation of squat. And that might mean that you're sitting up on some blocks or a pillow, or you're welcome to experiment with patting your heels with a rolled up yoga mat or a blanket. Then once you get here, maybe take your hands together in Anjali Mudra and lift your heart up. This pose is so grounding because we are literally grounding our body, bringing the hips closer to the earth. Now take a nice inhale, and on your exhale, we're going to go through 3 rounds of Brahmari breathing, stimulating that vagus nerve, toning it, massaging it. Inhale. If you're new to this practice, it sounds and feels like you're saying Om with your lips closed. 2 more times. Inhale. And once more, you can see that this is helping Bachi to tap right into her parasympathetic nervous system. Inhale. Notice if you can tap into the energy within the psoas, deep inside the hips, which this pose helps to cultivate a sense of safety because the psoas has the opportunity to soften. And the psoas is a key muscle with fight or flight. Let's release the hands, round the shoulders forward, and continue to flip the hands so the palms of your hands face outward. And then you're going to gently wedge them into your hip crease. If that doesn't happen, that's okay. You can just take the hands up higher underneath your armpits so the fingertips are facing backwards under your armpits. And if that doesn't work, that's fine. Just stay in malasana. Can experiment with the pose for a little bit and see how it feels. That delicious decompression of the heart and lung meridian. The heart meridian runs from the chest along the inner arm all the way to the pinky. Forearm stretches really target the wrist crease and the palm and can bring in gentle traction into this line of energy. You might feel this in your jaw, your face. Just notice, no judgment. Let's Let out a nice big sigh, release those hands, rinse them out in one direction and the other, and gently move forward onto your hands and knees. Let's move to the left, facing the short edge of your mat. And when you're ready, we're going to round through the spine into a cat and then extend into your cow, tucking the toes under. Exhale into your cat and inhale, arch and open the heart into your cow. One more time in each direction. Hands move over to the right and the left leg steps forward into your dragon pose in our Yin Yoga style, or a simple lunge. We're going to walk our hands over to the right edge of the mat and open up this dragon. I like to place a blanket or a block underneath my leg, underneath that extended leg, for support for not only the knee, but also you get a little extra sensation sometimes when you tuck the toes of the back foot and support the leg right above the knee. I like to play with a blanket or even a block right above my knee of the extended leg, and then I tuck the toes under to get added sensation. Blocks are also nice to help you move up with your arms extended on the blocks, or you can come on down onto your forearms as I'm demonstrating. When we first move into this, play with allowing gentle pelvic tilts internally and externally, rotating through the hips, and let your breath move into any regions of tightness, allowing tension and emotions to move through the tissues. We're targeting the hip flexors, the quadriceps, the groin, the low back, and the sacral region. So lots of moving parts here. Just be patient with whatever surfaces and notice how the sensations begin to dissolve. Let's push our hands into the earth and walk ourselves over to the opposite edge of the mat towards your right foot, coming back into your dragon on your right side. Play with tucking the toes of the back foot or untucking. And then again, we're going to walk our upper body over towards the left side. Inhale, and as you melt into the pose, maybe experiment with coming up higher or lower. Let out a couple of sighs, maybe a yawn. Just noticing how you're arriving on this side. Experiment again with the gentle pelvic tilts, internally and externally rotating your hips. Maybe try to release your jaw. The hips are so closely linked to the jaw, so you might feel some letting go or maybe even some clenching. And now go inward. Let's slowly come onto that back knee. Take your right leg forward, cross it underneath you, and then let's take the left leg on top, taking your left ankle on top of your right knee. So play with this again, maybe sit up on a blanket or a bolster, and then we're gonna revolve over towards the right and over towards the left foot. I'm using a block for my forearms. You can keep your arms extended on the earth or on maybe a pillow, whatever works best for you. Let's integrate the breath into this. As you inhale, let the left leg, the left hip gently guide over towards that right block. And then exhale, feel yourself grounding into the earth. And again, sip the breath in. Move the leg, the thigh ever so slightly to the right. And exhale, release. And let's do that once more. Shut down the eyes, go inward. Feel the energy inside the hips, inside the pelvis, the groin. Inhale, shift. Feel your weight moving. And then just soften into the earth. Now let's inhale. And at the top of that inhale, we're going to take another sip in. Exhaling, let it go. Do that 2 more times. Let's slowly come on up. I'm facing the long edge of my mat. I'm bringing the soles of my feet together for butterfly or Baddha Konasana. I'm using a block, but you can play with it and take it on the low side, the high side. You can sit on some props like a pillow or a bolster or a blanket. You can build a little shelf with the blocks like I'm demonstrating and take your forehead on 1 or 2 or 3 blocks, making a little kickstand for your forehead. Once you find some softness in the pose, inhale, and as you exhale, let out that bee buzzing breath to stimulate the vagus nerve and also to lower the cortisol hormone. Inhale. 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 Moving into some open focus. Connect to the energy in your hips and also the space around your hips. Feel the energy in your thighs. And all the space around your thighs. Invite in a sense of ease. If you're folded forward, come on up. Crisscross your legs, move forward onto your knees, then separate your feet and sit back between your feet, either on the earth or on top of a block or a bolster. Let's keep the feet to the outside of our hips, and then just take a moment and shut down your eyes. Take your hands onto your thighs. And if your knees feel very sensitive today, you can always extend one leg or place a rolled up blanket underneath your knees. I invite you to sense the pose and what parts of your body feel alive, engaged, or maybe even a little bit vulnerable. And then simply bring your awareness to your breath. Can you feel your ribs expand? Your belly rise? Can you feel your heart beating? Now we are going to melt over to the right side, either on your elbow on top of a block or a pillow. You're welcome to take your forearm down into the earth or your hand and invite in a nice side body opening, accessing the gallbladder meridian. Gently come on up, and let's take your props over to the other side and then melt on over to your left. Let's release this pose. Come on up. Take your legs out from underneath you, and let's windshield wipe them across the mat. Just feel that energy moving through your body. Simple wipe to the right and the left. Then extend both legs out in front of you, moving into our yin caterpillar. Today, I am going to use some blocks on my thighs. I invite you to play with a block behind you. Maybe you can sit on top of the block or a bolster, or you're welcome to fold forward as I'm demonstrating. Know that as you settle into this pose, that it's natural for the pose to evolve with time. Your fascia begins to unwind and unravel in layers, and your nervous system will respond to the stillness. And as your body speaks to you, adjust as needed. So you might come up higher and use some more blocks, or maybe you'll go lower. There's no right way, there's only your way. So investigate with that intuitive somatic GPS. Beautiful, friends. Let's slowly come on up. I'm facing the short edge of my mat, and I am going to recline my butterfly. So grab onto a couple of blocks to place between your shoulder blades. You can move into a butterfly variation of this, or you can keep your legs extended. So I'm reclining over the blocks, opening my heart. Play with placing another prop underneath your head, maybe a pillow or a blanket. And also experiment with taking the arms over your head, which gets deeper into the heart and the lung meridians. And then just surrender here. Let go. Melt into the earth. Keep the eyes shut down and gently bring your eyes, with your eyes closed, over to the right. Keep stretching your eyes, your eyeballs moving all the way to the right and past your body. And then you might feel a little sigh. And let's change sides. Maybe flutter your eyes open for a moment and shut them back down. Bring your gaze over to your left side. Eyes are shut down, but you're gazing with your eyes closed, all the way to your left. Feel the eyes, the tendons stretching. And then look for that pause, look for that surrender. And release, maybe flutter the eyes open and closed. And just melt into your pose. Friends, we're slowly coming off our props, roll over to one side and coming into final relaxation. So you are welcome to come onto a pillow or onto some blankets or wrap yourself up into a blanket. Let's take one big deep breath in, let out a long audible and now take your very well-deserved final pose. Deepen your breath, wiggle your fingers and your toes, maybe stretch open your jaw. Connect into that heartbeat and all the energy in the room around you. And when you're ready, roll over onto one side. Come on up to a seated pose. Let's roll the shoulders back. And then lift your arms up, palms opening up towards the sky. Roll the shoulders back, opening through the heart, and feel that energy that you connected to. Feel it like orbs inside of your hands. Inhaling, exhaling. Notice right in the center of the palm of your hands. Now bring the hands together to touch in Anjali Mudra. And then reach them up to your third eye. Om Shanti, 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 Namaste. I'm very excited to share with you that I now have an exclusive membership on both YouTube and on Patreon for those of you who need a little extra support on your wellness journey. And I also am thrilled to share with you a free weekly calendar to make your life easier and your practices more regular. And if you're ready for more exercises just like this, type below cortisol. Namaste, my beautiful friends.